Today we have the all-new 2023 Infiniti QX60. Now, it's no secret that Infiniti has been struggling over the past couple of years, and to be honest, the QX60, which was completely redesigned for 2022, is the brand's last chance. Just like the previous gen, the new model shares a platform with Nissan Pathfinder, and even though the engine remained the same, we now get a 9-speed conventional automatic instead of a CVT, which will make a lot of people happy. Or sad, depending on who you are. We also get a completely redesigned interior and exterior and updated technology to keep up with the rivals in a very competitive segment of luxury mid-size SUVs. So let's jump inside a fully loaded Sensory model and talk about the interior space. When I stepped inside the new QX60, I was very impressed with the design and a great attention to detail. It's most likely one of the best cabins Infiniti has ever made. You get a lot of soft touch materials, real aluminum and wood, and plenty of storage compartments, making it a perfect family hauler. Thankfully or not, the piano black plastic is limited to the HVAC controls, which are haptic, and even though I'm not a huge fan of any haptic controls in cars, I must admit that Infiniti's implementation works pretty well and I had no issues using it. As of displays, you get a customizable digital gauge cluster that shows basic information such as a trip computer, audio info or a navigation guidance, and a 12.3-inch infotainment display. I appreciate being able to control it via a touchscreen or a rotary knob, but it's not very intuitive and the graphical interface looks like it's from early 2010s, basically what you get in other Nissan products. The good news is wireless Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto are standard, as is a wireless charging for your smartphone. A 17-speaker Bose audio system produces good sound quality, but even in its flat setting it is still bass heavy, so you may need to make some adjustments with the equalizer. The front seats are impressively comfortable with a lot of padding, and the Sensory trim that I tested gives you heating, cooling, and a 3-mode massage for your back. The adjustability isn't crazy, but you can sit relatively low for an SUV, and a rather small steering wheel feels nice in hands. Now moving to the back, there is a huge amount of headroom and legroom in the second row. The bench splits 60/40, allowing you to slide and recline it, and you also get a climate control, 2 USB ports, one Type A and one Type C, as well as a household power outlet. The third row is very easy to access and you can fit 2 adults for short distances, but typically for this segment, the space is designed for kids. Additional air vents and a USB-A ports are a nice touch. Lastly, the trunk. It offers 14.5 cubic feet of space behind the third row, 41.6 cubic feet behind the second row, and 75.4 cubic feet after folding all seats down. Alright, so that was the interior of the Infiniti QX60. With that, let's take it on the road and see how it drives. The QX60 is all about smoothness and quietness. Unlike previous SUVs made by Infiniti, it's not trying to be sporty and does what every luxury SUV should do. Takes you from point A to point B in the most comfortable conditions possible. The cabin is very quiet, making you feel isolated from the outside world, and all road imperfections are absorbed well, but the QX60 doesn't feel floaty. Despite noticeable body roll, the car is stable and predictable through corners and gives you more than enough confidence for a 4,600-pound 3-row SUV. Now, under the hood sits an old-school for today's standards 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6, which makes 295 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque, paired to a 9-speed conventional automatic. The setup is adequate for everyday driving, providing a very smooth power delivery, but the engine lacks low-end torque, and I understand that many buyers in this segment want more oomph, so it would be nice to have a 400 horsepower twin-turbo V6 from the Q50 as an option. When it comes to fuel economy, it's pretty average for this segment. During my week with the QX60, I averaged 18 miles per gallon in the city, 26 on highway, and 22 combined. Now, let's not forget about the driver assist features. The QX60 comes standard with an automatic braking with pedestrian detection, lane keeping assist with departure warning, blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert, and rear parking sensors with automatic braking. The Sensory model that I tested adds an adaptive cruise control with curve adaptation, which pulls the data from the navigation system to slow down before corners, traffic sign recognition, front parking sensors, and a low resolution for today's standards 360-degree camera. If you opt for a $1,500 vision package, you will also get a 10.8-inch head-up display, adaptive headlights with auto leveling, and a digital mirror. So, that was the new Infiniti QX60. With everything we covered, let's jump to the conclusion. The new QX60 is a massive step ahead compared to the previous model, and Infiniti did a great job with redesigning it. It has a well-balanced driving characteristics, offers very spacious and well-made interior, but to be truly competitive, it needs stronger, more powerful engine. The truth is, the segment that the QX60 is in is very competitive, and rivals, especially those from Europe, offer more. If you take that out of the equation though and don't go for the top-of-the-line trim, you get a reasonably priced luxury family hauler. Pricing starts at $49,200 for a base pure model and $58,600 for the Sensory version that I tested. An all-wheel drive is a $2,000 option, and my fully loaded tester was priced at $64,785. Still less than you would pay for a similarly spec'd German rival. If you wonder how I would spec out my QX60, click the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.